Hi, everybody. Welcome back. It is week 11. We are so close to the end of the term. I know it's like a horse smelling the barn. We know it's coming, but it's going to be busy this next stretch. So take your vitamins, pace yourselves, meditate, go for walks, do whatever you do to take care of yourself. I know other classes get busy too, so hang tight. And if you've been doing your work all along, you're probably in great shape. I'm still playing catch up. I will be grading this week. So watch for my feedback. But yeah, here we go. So this week, what are we doing? As you know, a draft of your literary journalism piece will be due next week for peer review. I will offer one-on-one conference times. Please sign up. You get 10 points. If you do so, you get at least 10 points per semester for a one-on-one conference with me. If you don't want to meet with me, I get it. That's cool. You can meet with tutors. If you do so, let me know and you can get your 10 points that way. But this week we're going to read some sample essays written by former students. And we're going to shop and compare. You're going to read 2 of the 3 I've posted, and you're going to be looking at what worked well, what was problematic, and what can you learn from the work of others. I hope that these readings are both inspirational and informative and help you think about your work in a new way. We want to have that balance of storytelling and reportage. You'll notice in some cases the structure is storytelling first, followed by the research, and then bring it back together. In some cases, it's woven more specifically into the task. So a little storytelling woven in with research, little storytelling, research, storytelling, research. You'll see how the different approaches are working. And in some cases, it's a little jarring. So kind of see what works and what doesn't, what structural style you might use in telling your story as it's informed by research. There are loads of other models for you to look at as well. As you know, if you review the prompt for the assignment. Alrighty. Right here we have the 3 essays in question. Stretching in a Rainforest Makes Your Brain Feel Good is about hot yoga, you'll see, it's fun. What do you expect? It's Walmart is about as you might have guessed, working at Walmart. So it's immersion journalism in place. If anybody here is an essential worker in a grocery store or Walmart or whatever, you'll recognize what's going on here. And the healing, oh goodness, too many quotation marks, apologies. The Healing World of Art is an immersion journalism piece in a pandemic. So this one responds to the prompt you guys have been given, diving into something in your living room that is a new experience to you. Again, you've got a draft due next week, but for this week, if you haven't already conducted a personal interview and you want to do so, here's a space for you to generate some open-ended and closed-ended questions just for practice. And please take a look at this, Tips for Conducting a Personal Interview from Kaplan University. It's useful. You've already seen some things about interviews, but this gives you some useful tips in terms of compiling your notes, choosing which quotes to use. Zippy quotes are the only ones you want to use. You don't want to just quote, and when I was a small child, you don't want quotes, only the interesting things. Otherwise, you paraphrase and summarize. You still attribute, but you paraphrase and summarize. Tell It Slant gives you some great tips on interviews for research and so on. So that gives you a little practice here. And then again, you're going to be reading these essays and thinking about how they apply to your work or how they might inspire your work or caution you in your work. This little bit is about citation. In journalism, you don't see the in-text citations, the parentheticals with the author's last name and a page number, close parentheses, period. You don't see that so much. That's academic citation. That said, you can use academic citation. I'm not going to stop you. And if you'd like to do so, here are some tips and tools regarding in-text citation using MLA style. But that doesn't mean you don't cite. You must, allow me to reiterate that, you must give credit where credit is due. You must use attribution, which is the journalistic word for citation in text. That means you do the signal phrase thing that you've practiced in other writing classes. So-and-so, author of such and such, says this. So-and-so, a student of hot yoga, says that. So-and-so, my neighbor, who noticed when something crazy happened in the neighborhood, says this about that. You say who is the speaker, who's the authority, why should they be listened to, give us some context, and then present the information that they provide. You do not have to give us a page number per se in the text of your essay. Now, the signal phrases I want. You got to do that. Introduce the source, present the source, and so on. But in absence of the actual citations, you can do what many journalists do, and that is use hyperlinks. Hyperlinks, for example, as you've seen in all of these posts on Brightspace, take you directly to the source. For example, this hyperlink will take you to this essay, which is a fun essay. The dog is sick of us. It's about working at home during a pandemic with a dog who used to think that everything was all groovy, but then got really sick of having the humans around. Okay, it's a fun essay. It uses hyperlinks too. It doesn't use signal phrases the way I'd really like you to, but you can take a look at how the author uses signal phrases to take you to other sources. That's a groovy way to cite sources in text in a journalistic way. You're thinking of electronic journalism, of course. This is a little hyperlinked tips from the OWL at Purdue regarding avoiding plagiarism. And here is not a hyperlink, but rather a link itself to a video about how to use MS Word for citing, creating hyperlinks. That said, I do want a works cited page. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I want you to write a works cited page. I need to see where the sources come from. Be sure that you use MLA style. The OWL at Purdue, once again, can help you out with that. If you are using electronic sources, they even have a source generator. You plug in the URL and bada bing, bada boom, magic happens and you get a citation. I've got a little video in this week's module that'll help you out as well. Any journalist fact checks. Any journalist. It makes sure that the sources are reliable. This is true regardless of your style. That said, you're still a storyteller. So you are doing both things. Storytelling and factual storytelling, not fictional. Factual storytelling based on your own experience and observations, interviews, and so on. And you are supporting your information with actual sources. Yes, I've said that 100 times, and I keep saying that, right? And you're like, oh my God, is she going to say that again? I am going to say it again because every term I get all storytelling or all research, and not in some cases, not all the time, not all the time. There are some outliers that happens. And I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to get the twofer. Yeah. Okay. I'll stop now. Maybe. Okay. All right. Cruising forward. This video gives you a little overview about how to format a works cited page. And this gives you some information about conducting personal interviews, how to compile your sources, and how to choose the best stuff. And also, when you do interview people, thank them. Here's a little idea at the end. This is good, just good karma. You know, always thank your sources. And moving forward, here is your journal for generating open and closed-ended questions. If you have already conducted your interview, include a zippy quote from your source. Keep in mind that you quote sparingly, so choose quotes that add zip to the story. And maybe write a short paragraph in which you integrate the quote into your own writing so that we understand why it appears in context. So that is just helpful pre-writing activity. And here is the blog where you choose 2 out of these 3 essays to read. Write a little something here about what's working well, what isn't, and then you can choose one of these questions to address either in one or both of the essays. And in your reflection, and reflect. Okay, so there's beginning, middle, and end. Do reflect and respond to your classmates. And in your responses, please share what respond to what your classmates noticed that you didn't, and maybe what you noticed and they didn't, and maybe continue the conversation. What's interesting about that? And comment about how this conversation with your peers and also the readings might affect your choices regarding your own essay. As you know, we've got a draft coming up, and here we go. We have what we did this week, and we will be sharing drafts in Writers Workshop next week with peer review. Same thing you did before. You get 20 points for posting your own work, but you get 20 points each for each peer review you provide. Give as you would wish to receive. Answer all of those questions that are provided. Be as thorough as you can be, and you will not only help your partners, you will help yourself in that process. We'll get to that next week. This week, I think you know what's going on. If you have questions, concerns, if anything comes up that is troubling you, please let me know. I will have office hours on Thursday at 10 in our Zoom room. The link to our Zoom room is on the course homepage under the instructor information. Just click in there and boom, you're in our Zoom room. I'm happy to talk with you anytime. If you can't meet me during the office hours, please come see me, or make arrangements to talk with me another time. I am here for you. I would like to help you, so hang out with me. That all said, I do need to give a PSA. This is the last week to drop a class. If you think you can't finish it for whatever reason, this is the time. I'm not suggesting that anybody who's watching this video right now is going to have to drop this class. But if you have any concerns and you want to talk with me to check to see where you are in your class, let me know. But if you just know that you can't complete, this is the week to drop. You can get a W rather than an F on your transcript. That's just a PSA. You can file that away in the I don't need it file if you're cruising along and you got your work going on. So, all right, take care, y'all. I will see you later. Bye-bye.